Hello, everybody. It's Friday. It's PoliTarology. And look at all my friends here. I am just lousy with friends to talk about politics. So we have Mel with us, who's right down there. And we have Cleo. Cleo? We have Gerald. We have, I won't try to point to you guys, but Val and Shari. And so it's the gang plus Mel. So I'm very happy for all of that. Sorry for us being late. There was all sorts of, conundrum going on because David Pakman said that Biden was stepping down, and we all said, no, he's not. Say it isn't so. So we were all kind of freaking out about that. All right, so we're going to go around the circle and give everybody a chance to say hello and tell us what's going on. And then we're going to jump into some questions. And while everybody says hello, me and Gerald are going to be taking some questions out of the chat. So be sure you've put them in capital letters so that we can see them because we're old. Okay, so here we go. Cleo, could you start us off?
Okay, well, I think I'm doing a show with you on Sunday on politics, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then since we've kind of settled down, we're not doing as many shows in the summertime right now. I don't have anything again until probably next Thursday, and I'm not sure. I think that might be kitchen table issues. And
we'll find out.
and then next Friday I've got the cool Crone Oracle.
Of course. All right, Val, what's going on with you?
Okay, so not so much on the shows. My normal ones, you'll see it on my community page. But I did want to let people know there's still time to sign up for the Akashic Record class that is on Sunday, July 21st. You can go to dragonflycrystals.store and sign in on the online book online tab, and make sure that you pick the date July 21st, and then you can pick, next available date, July 21st, and it'll show up for you to choose that class. And so that's what I got.
Very nice. Hi, Mel. How are you? Welcome home.
Thank you.
What's going on for you?
Oh my goodness, get all day. Well, August the 7th, I'm going to leave to go to Slovakia, right on the border of the Czech Republic.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to be teaching a 3-day seminar there.
Nice.
And then I'll rest for a day. Then I'll go to the UK for a couple of days to scout out haunted places and things like that. And maybe do some YouTube shows. And then I'll be back. My show, I'm going to start Morning Moments with Mel again. I've just been busy. But, Tuesday nights, Arthur and I alternate. Wednesday nights, every other Wednesday, Kim Copeland and I alternate. Thursdays, Kevin Chandler. Mondays, Linda and I alternate. So let's see, September the 6th, I'm leaving on my Rhine River tour. I've got 43 people. And then I'm getting ready for the event we're putting together here the last week in August. So we've only got 6 openings left.
Wow.
So if anybody's interested, you can call my office at 847-590-5411. And now I'm working on next year's trips. I've got a cruise going to the Italian and French Riviera in May. I've got a trip going to Peru next September and a trip going to Iceland next October. So.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. And the thing that you're doing in Chicago, that's in August? I thought it was in September.
No, I'm sorry. It's my mind is like, okay. It's in the end of September.
Okay, great. All right, great. I just wanted to make sure because
it'll be on a Thursday evening meet and greet. It'll be all day Friday and all day Saturday. And so
I'm sure it's going to be great. I won't be able to make it. I'm going to be dressed as an ancient witch and reading cards at the New York Renaissance Fair. So
yay.
I'll be able to be there.
You have to take pictures and send to everybody.
I do usually post a few pictures. Usually it depends on how together I am when I'm there. 7 weeks outside at the fair doing weekends and then working full time. My brain cells can't
That's
handle
a lot.
It's
Those
a lot, but it's fun.
fairs are fun. They're really
It's really fun. It's such a fun atmosphere. And pretty much everybody at the fair is a witch. So it's great company, you know?
Kevin Chandler is going to be with us. Kevin's coming. Kevin Chandler says it's going to be an awesome event. I saw in the comments.
Oh, that's
Linda's coming in. Aiden's going to film it. Psychic Arthur is going to be the MC. Deanne's going to be there. Let's see. Kevin Lewis is going to be there.
nice.
Going to be there. And if I missed anybody, I'm sorry.
No, it sounds like a wonderful event. Best of luck.
Yours sounds wonderful as well.
It's fun. It's really fun. I have
So
a good
where's
time.
it going to be again?
It is in Tuxedo, New York, in the Sterling Forest, which is up on a little mountain. And they've been there for 40, almost, this might be their 45th year. They've been there forever. I haven't been doing it that long. I've been doing it about 6 or 7 years. And yeah, it's really nice. It's a nice group.
Everybody go get a reading from the cool Crone.
Yes, please come to my booth, which is called Moonchild. You can get a reading.
Ooh.
Okay.
Reminds me of the Cat Stevens song, Moon Shadow.
Right. I know. It's good. It's really fun. All right, Shari, how's everything with you?
Things are going okay. Getting over a bad head cold that I've been out for the last couple of days from work, but I've got my Night Owl show every Saturday night at 11 p.m. Central, and this Sunday is my monthly show with Juno for whatever we do, and which is a bunch of different things. And Monday is going to be with Mel for our Draining the Swamp and working on our third party because Arthur won't be there. So if anybody's available on Monday night to come in and film, let me know and I'll bring you in. So it's a lot of fun. We're now doing it pre-recorded. So, and then matter of fact, I was just looking into Zoom today to up my levels so I can actually do stuff on Zoom. And other than that, the same old sisters on Wednesdays and Golden Girls every other Thursday, PoliTarology first and third Friday. So
your
just
dance
catch me
card,
when you can.
your dance card's pretty full, it sounds like. That's good.
Yeah, it stays that way. I like it that way.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, well, you're a Gemini. You like to be hopping around.
Yeah,
and all that
I
stuff.
like to do
Yeah.
multitasking things.
Yeah. That's right. And Monsieur Gerald, thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad that you're here. You helped
I'm
me
glad to be
so
here.
much. I
Glad to
can't
help.
tell you how grateful I am to have you here. What's going on with you?
I have I'm doing readings on Monday with Ken Payne, the creator of the Oracle of the Hecatean Path, and Robert Fierro Tarot. And then on Tuesday, I have a Laugh and Learn with Tanis. We're talking about water and all of the possibilities and magic with water. So everybody just like and subscribe to TarotStache and you will be in the know.
Wow. That's
So.
Tanis Newberry?
No, it's Tanis Coughlin from Twillo Lifestyle Community.
Twillo Lifestyle Community. Okay.
Yes,
All
that's
right.
great.
That's such an unusual name. I'm really kind of surprised that you know two people with that name. Anyway. Okay, so I'm Colleen Pearl. I'm the Cool Crone. This is PoliTarology, and we like to get together every couple of weeks and just laugh at the foibles of our United States politicians because they're so effing entertaining. I gotta say, they really are. And right now, things are just, let's see, what's the term for it? Crazy boots. They're just really, really strange. So I'm going to go to the starred questions and we're going to start picking some out. And yeah, and again, chatters, make sure they're in caps and we'll do as many as we can.
And I've just been capturing anything that I thought was a heavy question. So,
okay. Now, do we want to even talk about this Pac-Man thing or did we kind of resolve that?
I think that's, yeah.
We weren't on when we talked about it.
I know.
I think if we stick to the real coming from the source.
Okay, we're gonna skip it. Okay, I just want to put this up first. Sending love and calming positive white light to everyone and to the guides to use for good of the world. This is a great way to start out our readings. as most of you know, the other shows that I do, we really, really focus on spirituality a great deal, because we're really trying to help everybody raise their vibration, connect to their guides, follow their path, live in the light, you know, all that good stuff. And when you're talking about politics, often people get really emotional, and that allows them to tap into fear sometimes. And you know, that door, that little emotional door is open, and so, you know, fear's going to stick its little head in and say, can I play? And when you get fearful, you get kind of cuckoo. So it's really great to send some love and calming energy and positive light to everybody. So Acadian Proud, thank you for your PSA, because we really needed that. All right. So Susan McCall Carrasco says, will Dems win the House and the Senate? Well, let's all shuffle on that. Let's just, whoever gets a hit or a read, just go ahead and say what you feel.
Well,
go ahead. No, go ahead, Mel.
Here's what I have been saying, that all this Biden step down and question Biden's competency, I think it was started by a Democrat in name only, and it was kind of put in everybody's head, and then boom, it just snowballed with the media and all of that. And Trump's people want the Democratic Party to be at odds with each other. They want chaos. And, you know, I think another plan that they had was if they could get, you know, are thinking that if top people like senators and House members would call on Biden to step down, then everybody would get hopping mad and wouldn't vote for those House members that are Democrat, or those senators that are Democrat calling for Biden to step down, so that Republicans could win. And my psychic light bulb went on, and that was the whole manipulation behind it. So no matter how angry you are, make sure you vote. Don't get hung up in the fear. And even if you're mad at your senator or your representative, even if they are a Democrat, vote for them. And if you do that, we will hang on to the House and the Senate. I remember, you know, during the last campaign, Biden senile, they were saying the same thing. There's nothing wrong with Joe Biden. Trust me on that one. And I agree. We've got to put the fear behind us and let it push us forward. And I just didn't see Joe Biden stepping down. I still don't. And so my feeling is, yes, we will hold on to the House and the Senate. And my feeling is right now the polls say Biden's a little behind. But Biden, there's something going to happen. I don't know what it is. But it's really going to bind the Democrats together again. And Biden will start looking very, very good. So that's my take.
I have to agree. And, you know, just to back Mel up, I got the yes, prosperity, yes, temperance and balance, and yes, 3 yeses. I mean, you can't do better than that. But really what's going to happen is people are going to have that sense with Joe coming out and some of this rhetoric dying down. People are going to feel that balance and stability. They really want to feel it. They want to know everyone's behind the candidate they're going to vote for. And these are even the political parties that in the Democratic Party, the senators and congressmen. So they want to look to the future and feel in balance with it. And all of this is going to happen in the next few days. I don't know why or how, but something is coming out about Trump. Because I was shown this dream. It wasn't a dream. It was one of those, you wake up and before you open your eyes, you have a vision. And it involved Trump and an Epstein exploit. We'll just say that about it. I won't even tell you the graphical image that was shown to me, but it is that compromising information. And we all know he videotaped and took pictures of everything. So it exists. So something is going to happen that is going to really shift things Yeah, that unexpectedly, but everybody will be behind Biden, and yeah, it's going to happen.
Change the news cycle.
Yes.
Steer it away from this Biden question.
I've got the same thing, and I've had it for a while now, that there is going to be some changes happening. There's going to be some changes in the legal arena with Trump happening quite soon because of Tanya Chutkan.
Tanya.
Okay. Tanya Chutkan is going to come up with something that's going to balance out the legalities of this. I mean, right now, the legal scales are cattywampus. She is going to come up with some stuff that's going to put it a little bit more back in balance. And then with some other things about Biden and the Democrats, yes, there is something coming up down the road. I don't know if it's August or September, but it changes everything, and just expect the unexpected, just like we've been going through this month. I mean, it's just been crazy how the Democrats just seem to be riding high. Their little circus is coming to an end, and it's just a matter of time. But there is something coming up that is, I haven't been able to, I can't define it, but there is something coming up that really turns everything around.
I read the same thing, Cleo. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I started out with the Knight of Swords. Biden was just cruising right along. Everybody was gung ho. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Even though the press refused to admit to how well he was doing. And then we had the debate. And instead of showing temperance, which is the same card that Val had, and backing him up and saying, look, we all have a bad night. And it's well known that an incumbent president on their first debate for the next term, they always flub it up. Always going back as far back as you can check. And I think that we need to be reminded of that temperance. We all have off days. We all feel sick. We all have jet lag. And when you combine all of that together, you get a poor visual of the debate. Whereas if you were to read the transcripts of the debate, Biden won hands down because Trump was just made no sense whatsoever. And the few sentences he did manage to string together were out and out lies. I mean, he just hit him with so much stuff that, Biden was like, where do I even begin? And when instead he should have just ignored him and just talked about all of his accomplishments, in my opinion. And then I get the last card I got was the death card. And I'm seeing that, there's something that's coming up that's going to shake up the Democrats, and it's going to make them step back and go, oh, wait a minute. We were jumping the gun here. We better get our act together. And I think a lot of it is going to be, there are, according to the gentleman that Linda had on today with Andre.
Sean,
thank you. He was talking about that the when you start talking to House members and senators, a good 3/4 of them or more are all still behind Biden, including the speaker, or Jeffries will soon be speaker. And that, this was just some nervous Nellies who, for whatever reason, let the fear get to them and decided, okay, no, we need to change tickets, because they weren't just talking about getting rid of Biden. They were talking about him getting rid of the whole ticket. And that would be a death knell for us. And it would be the last election we ever get to vote in our lifetimes.
I just wanted to put up some comments here that we got. Like,
can I just throw something out there? So people are going to be angry and not want to vote for your Democratic representative or senator. Remember, not voting is a vote for Trump.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. So Mona Rogers put this up. I thought it just went around this morning that he's staying. And then we had another comment that I thought was important. Oh, I'm sorry, Mel. I didn't mean to put that up.
Oops.
What else do we have here?
Okay, well, guess what? You're invited for dinner. What can I say?
Yeah. Let's see. There
If I
was,
knew it was that easy, I would have just said something earlier.
yeah, right. Okay, wait.
I'm a cheap date.
I
No, you're
heard
not.
that,
You have
Mel.
to fly all the way up to Chicago.
I put up some other ones. Gerald, where did my things go? I put up some other ones that were great.
Scroll up.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, we've got a lot of them.
Yeah, Lichtman said stick with Biden. His 13 key system says keep Biden or Plan B. Harris runs, but Biden steps down. Here's another one. Breaking news. David Letterman said he'll hold a fundraiser for Biden on July 29th.
Well, Alan Lichtman has predicted every president since, I think, since Reagan.
Yeah, like 40
yeah.
years. Yeah. I mean,
He
he's
was-
just an icon.
Well, actually, he predicted that Gore would win, and I think Gore did. It was just a Supreme Court that
Exactly.
screwed that up. And I
Exactly.
think Alan Lichtman is right. If Biden steps down,
Yeah.
it's just handing Trump the election.
So, Mona, what Pacman said is that he had 5 White House sources that said that Joe was not going to finish the race. So that's all I want to say about it. I don't want to give it too much oxygen. No. Misa Matsumori, the answer to your question is no. Let's see. Is that it? Did I get them all, Gerald?
I think
Yeah.
so.
I think I got them all.
I was just looking on AP, and 38 minutes ago, live update, Biden pushes for party unity as rapidly growing chorus calls for him to step aside. So, and, you know, and there's a lot of support for him to stay there, and a lot of people who are making sure people understand this is a backlash of what had happened last week. Stop it, everybody. Calm down, take a breath, and just, you know, here, stop it.
Thank you, Gerald. Thank you.
And let's not forget that all of these huge media outlets are led by humongo donors to Mr. T. They are all the big corporate elites. They don't want Biden in there. They don't want regulation. They want free reign. And these are the same people who are going to happily go along with Project 2025 because they don't want to pay overtime anymore. When they're making 50 times what their main workers are making, they're worried about them getting overtime and healthcare and all of the other stuff. All right, so I'm moving on.
And
here.
maternity leave. And
Yeah, right. We could go on for hours. Let's see. What's this say? My question is, when do you see Democrats standing with our president because they're running scared away from Biden? Let's read on that. That's a little more. When are we going to come to our senses and everybody just kind of settle in?
Well, I think that most Democrats are riding with Biden. I just think it's that little select few that got their underwear in a bunch, and they need to get their underwear unbunched, and they will. You know, I pulled a card for Biden, and I've got the 3 of spades, and that's the best card in the deck. It means phenomenal luck. It means balance. It means high honors. It means winning. I pulled the card for Trump, and I got the 7 of spades, which means divorce. It means not maybe necessarily from Melania, but just a breakup. It's thunder and lightning and tumultuousness. And so there's a lot more, I agree, with the Epstein stuff that's going to come out about him. And it's not going to be good. So Biden, you know, and Linda Grindle pulled his cards. I talked to Linda this morning. I talked to her yesterday morning. And we're like, you know, she said his cards look phenomenal. So I'm just not giving up on Biden. I'm not.
Oh, no.
So
There's no need to.
So it's not all Democrats. It was a few, but I do see the Dems getting their stuff together. The one thing I can say about the Republicans that, and everybody, please don't email me and send me a bunch of nasty comments. You know, even with their candidate who was convicted of 34 felony counts, they didn't call on him to step down. They're albeit behind closed doors, many of them wanted to. What lessons can the Dems learn for that? Stand behind our candidate. Hello. Right?
It was only, I think, Mel, wasn't it, when the threat of big money being pulled from the Democratic Party, 9 million was there ready to be donated, and they were going to hold it back. And when they heard that, that's when you heard other Democratic people step up and go, oh, they had a fear reaction.
Here's my prayer, that the rhetoric will change. It will.
Yes.
So rather than talking about how senile they think Biden is or this or that, they said that the last election and Biden won. What they need to talk about is the Republican MAGA candidate who was convicted of 34 felony counts, has 4 trials against him. The Eileen Cannon decision will not stand. And people need to start talking about that in the Democratic Party and talking about the great stuff Biden has done for this country, as opposed to focusing on, you know what, he stammered over some words. It's the biggest crock of BS I've ever heard in my life.
Mel, I'm gonna take a clip of that out of this video and put it on a short on YouTube, because people could hear that on repeat. That was great. That was very, very well said. Thank you.
Well, I pulled a page of swords. So I think the Democrats just need to figure out a new way of communicating. But this is a yes. I mean, the majority of them are standing behind Biden. And there are a lot of regular, everyday people like you and me who are starting to call their representatives and their senators and say, what the F is wrong with you? Get your act together. I think that goes along with the Two of Pentacles here, because now these House members and senators, they've got some decisions to make. Are they going to stay in the Democratic Party and support their leader, or are they going to abdicate and go over to the other side? They need to make up their mind. And maybe if we put it to them like that, look, if you do this, you'll not get my vote again. I mean, I might put you in this time around just so we hold the House and the Senate, but I'll make damn sure there's somebody that's running against you in your next primary, and just let them know we're ticked off. And then the last card I got was the Queen of Wands. And that's telling us, be courageous. Be strong about this. We've got this. I mean, that's another yes card. She's letting us know right now, stick with your man. Do what you know is right. Stand by your man, as Tammy Wynette used to sing. Don't turn your back on him.
Stand by your man.
That's it.
Well, and you gotta remember, there's an
And tell the world you love him. Stand by your man and tell the world you love
him.
The money my mama gave me for singing lessons, I spent.
And so also we've got a problem with so much misinformation on the internet that gets these rumors going. Just like we just read that this guy on YouTube was saying that Biden said he was going to step down. I've seen a bunch of written articles that say the same kind of thing, but then when you read through it, no, he didn't ever say that. He's never said that. He said, I'm in it and I'm going to stay there. So be sure and read and reread and make sure that the information you're getting is true. I have seen more positive, valid, true information on YouTube than anything on network TV or even MSN on here. I mean, so many of the places that I used to think I could get the right news from, they're not totally lying usually, but they're just, the headline is a misinformation from the get-go. And then you read through it and find out that it's something different. But a lot of people read that headline and just go with it. So
yes, you need to verify your facts, check as many different resources as you can, and take a breath before you start to panic.
Yeah, really.
I think we need to find out the source of this information. And I can tell you 3 guesses where it's coming from. All right. And I do see at some point, YouTube and media cracking down on some of this misinformation, only because they're going to get lawsuits out the yin yang. And also, what I'm picking up is they're going to use artificial intelligence to monitor artificial intelligence, so that artificial intelligence can't do this misinformation.
Wow.
Wow.
That would be good.
Is anyone else going to read on this?
I'm okay.
Okay. I was trying to pull up Trump's chart against one of the eclipses that's coming up. There's two in September, one on the 7th, one on the 21st.
Mm-hmm.
I think the one on the 21st is more significant, but I need to focus on that, and I don't want to do that right now. So, but I'll probably do a video about it, because I think that's when I think probably for the first eclipse, my hunch is that's going to be September 7th. That's right after Labor Day. That's when a lot of people start going, oh, there's a presidential election. And that's when I think a lot of the celebrities will come out and start naming their, claiming their support, stating their support, like Taylor Swift and Beyonce and Jay-Z and all those people. They'll come out and they'll say, yeah, we're riding with Biden. But by the 21st, when we have that second eclipse, I think it's bad for Trump. I'm just looking briefly at the planets, and I think it's no bueno for him. And I think that's going to be the point in time where and usually these things happen right before the eclipse or before that moon or whatever it is. So it could even be a little earlier than the 21st, but that would be when something kind of shuts down, as far as, because it's affecting his midheaven, just like that conjunction did when before the rally in Butler, PA. He had something that affected his midheaven negatively. And so this eclipse is similarly situated. So you could have some more action there.
Well, I think his legal entanglements are definitely going to catch up to him before the election. And that he might even be taken off the ballot in certain states, or something legal comes up that says he might be ineligible. Now, I know that just sounds crazy and nobody thinks that could probably happen, but I'm thinking it could. That he could be in a lot of trouble that way too. But I do see more and more that people are just going to rally behind Biden because they want to save the democracy. And that's what it's coming down to.
Well,
the Dems also need to start talking about Project 2025.
They
and
have
getting
been.
it out there
They
what
have
they
been.
plan.
Oh, they have been, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
It's getting a lot of press.
And here's
Good.
the thing. I want to hear something scary. This is on the home front. So this morning or yesterday morning, I was saying to my husband, who is a very nice Republican, not a cray-cray one, but I'm a Democrat. But I said to him, there's Project 2025. Why are people even spending any time on this character? And he said, oh, that can never happen. When I said, well, they're going to take the vote away from women. They're going to make sure that none of us can have birth control, blah, blah, blah. Oh, that can never happen.
Yeah, that's what they said about Trump winning too.
That's right.
It's already happening.
And my husband's an intelligent man. He really is. So for this intelligent man to say this to me, I mean, this is like a frog in a pot of water that is just now warm, and it's going to get turned up, but they don't know it. They don't know they're sitting on this fire. I just don't understand how they don't believe it. They don't believe it can happen. Sure, it's there.
Tell them to start looking at the red states and seeing what they're doing there and the laws that they're passing.
That stuff is on the news. People aren't. I mean, that whole quadrant of the United States now, since Florida passed their 6-week ban, that whole quadrant is a desert as far as women's health care goes. Yeah. So
it's already started in the Reagan era. All these things. This has to get out there. They've already started implementing it through the years. It's not a hurry up and it'll all get in there. No, but so much got in during the Reagan administration and so forth. The Bush, all of that. If you look at Project 2025 and read it, you can see what's been implemented. But they're going full boat on getting all this done. And so if that doesn't scare scare the heck out of
Well,
you.
yeah, and
What-
if you realize that this stuff has been coming on for a long time, the pack in the courts and all that stuff, when Reagan took a look at whatever his project was, project, BC4, whatever year he was president, he adopted two-thirds of what they had in there, all of their suggestions, 2/3. And so that's why it started with Reagan, and 50 years later, it's finally coming to a head. Well, not 50 years later, maybe. I don't know. When was Reagan president?
In the 80s.
80s.
Yeah, it was the 80s.
So 40,
The
at least
reason
40
this is
years ago.
happening is because people said it can never happen.
And that's
Yeah.
what happened in the Weimar Republic as well. They just turned away and they said, oh, nothing's happening. It's not that bad. It's a couple of people. No, it's
Believe
like
it.
thousands, millions of people.
Colleen, you're reading my mind, because I was going to say that's exactly how Hitler came to power, because
Yes.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Yes.
mean,
Oh,
it
you
didn't
can never
start with
do
gas
that.
chambers.
Oh, he'll never do that, or that can never happen. Oh, yeah,
Right.
it can.
Right.
I mean, during the Nazi,
Now,
during Hitler's time,
Yeah.
it didn't start with the gas chambers. It didn't start with any of that stuff. It started out by
I'm going to put food on your
first
table.
getting
You're going to be able
Like
to eat.
first
I'm going to put a chicken in every
turning
pot.
turning another group of people into
Yeah.
the other.
Yes.
There's something wrong with them. They're not human. They're vermin. They're this. They're
Yep.
that.
Yep.
Now,
They're
what did we hear
taking
Trump
your
do and
money.
say for
They're
4
taking all
years?
your money away, so we can't put.
You
give you
know, and then
food.
they started taking away the judges and the courts
Yep.
and their representatives in their House and Senate, because they were a very progressive country at that time.
Yeah. Yeah, they
when
were.
he came in.
They
And then
were.
started working on taking out the LGBTQ people, because there was a very vibrant, thriving LGBTQ community in Germany during that time.
Mhm.
And they started in with removing people who were mentally challenged or
Mhm.
who were handicapped,
Mhm.
and slowly just got to be more and more and more and more, until one day people woke up and there were gas chambers and death camps, and they're like, they were so out, they didn't know what to do to stop it.
Mhm.
So they went
So
along with
people
it.
can stop it now.
Right.
They're working on it now, because Biden will be the next president of the United States. Boom. I've said that. I will continue to say it.
Oh,
Everyone
look,
else.
it says it in the crawler too. Joseph Biden will be our next president. Great.
Yes.
Go ahead.
yes. And I'm like
Absolutely.
going, and if I have to, Biden is the next president. Biden is the next president. Stop talking about the other guy and start showing what he's doing. What is Biden doing? How is he helping? Keep that motivation
out.
going.
Get it out.
That's
Do it.
right. I just want to say one last thing about the whole connection with the Weimar Republic. It started out too with them having to sew a yellow star on their jackets, right? They had to wear
Exactly.
the star, right? But in the Trump mega cult, they have to wear a maxi pad.
You have to have the
That's
maxi pad.
horrible.
It's kind of reverse, it's just they're so, can I say it, under intelligent, they're just
Well, what Trump had said in his speech, his speech was an absolute gift to the Democrats. I mean, he just went off on his own little rallying.
Didn't he do the shortcut?
did he? I don't know anything
I
about it.
didn't watch it. I can't listen to his voice.
Yeah, he actually brings stuff up like Hannibal Lecter. I mean, it's just insane. And I mean,
And what a great guy he was.
yeah, what a great guy he was. And he starts off saying, trying to we're going to be united. And this is a terrible thing that happened to me. And I almost died. And then he goes, that was for the first 30 minutes. Then there's another hour or so of him going off on his usual thing about, that the Biden's the worst president we've ever had. Well, please, No, he is the worst president we've ever had. And everybody knows that. So as soon as he starts saying that, people are just like turning him off. But on the other hand, that was really what gave new life, I think, to the Democrats, at least on that day, when they heard what he was saying, that was just ridiculous. It's his usual ridiculous banter and lies, continual lies.
Wow. Yeah, he's just, I drew a few cards on this. He is just, I think, sadly, he's so lonely at Mar-a-Lago. I think he probably just talks out loud to Hannibal Lecter because that's the only person who'll listen to him at Mar-a-Lago. I mean, Melania's not there. His son's not there. His, hangers on. It's just Walt Nauta and him.
Precious isn't there.
Yeah, he's exhausted his conversation with Walt Nauta. There's not that much he can talk to him about. So, and I think he's just kind of like living in the past. So when he goes to the convention, it's like a big rally. But I have heard that the crowds were quite small. It just wasn't that well attended. And
like another part of his anatomy.
Yes, like another part of his anatomy. That's
his
right.
brain.
Yes. Now, what were you all thinking? Just stop that.
But,
I'm just bringing up the tiny hands.
Melania showed up at the convention, and she's been through, this will be her third one, and in both the first two she did talk and do something. This time she just walked on and everybody's like, yay, and she just walked right past everybody, went and sat down.
Do you know why she didn't talk? Because she didn't have a speech to steal.
Yeah. Well, I just think that I think he's lonely and bored. I think he thought this was a great party. I think he thought everybody was praising him, and wasn't this great for him? I think he's just swimming in delusion land. I don't think that this man, it's kind of a wonder that he's even able to participate in the process to the extent that he does. Like, he goes to the right place, he stands at the right podium, and he says something. I'm not surprised at all that the stuff that he talked about was
what are they giving him to give him the ability to do that?
They have the Elvis lights at the convention, the big Trump lights. It looked just like where Elvis, you've seen years ago when he did some concert and it said Elvis and lights. That's the way Trump had his set up. And so they've been talking about that too. Like, good thing we went to the convention so we could see the Elvis lights. So, I mean, it just got crazier and crazier. I really expected them to get in a brawl at this convention, but I think because of the attempted assassination thing, it calmed down. But I mean,
well, okay.
Crazy.
Gerald, go ahead.
So all of this stuff is going on last week, and President Biden was doing presidential things, helping the country, helping people of the nation, doing the right things, doing his job. And, and what's happening is people are using this as the other stuff as a distraction. Keep finding the stuff that he is doing and continues to do, because he is the next president of the United States. Biden.
Period.
And it's at the bottom of the screen. Your timing is exquisite, Gerald.
You're welcome.
What I keep saying is that we need to talk about the accomplishments that Biden has made, and they're more than any president since in the 1960s. So I pulled a card for T Rump, and I got the 10 of clubs, which is a death card. I think it means the death of his political career. There's a lot more stuff coming out about him. And I don't wish anybody harm, but Trump really needs to watch his health. My guides are showing me dark clouds around his head area for a very long time. And see, people say, well, maybe that was the shrapnel he caught in the ear. No, that's not. No. I don't know if it's circulatory or stroke or something, but he's, his health is not feeling very good to me. So,
yeah, I've
just my psychic impression. There's nothing to back that up.
Yeah, Mel, I've had that too. And when I combine it with the astrology, what my feeling is, there's going to be something that pops in the brain. It's a little explosion, a little pop
An aneurysm.
somewhere or something. Yeah, probably. And now we had another person who had a similar question that, is MSM going to realize that he is the one with dementia? Do you think he did a long speech to show the world that being shot hasn't scared him? So what are your thoughts on that? Or do you have some psychic impressions on that?
Wait, who's MSN?
MSNBC, I think they mean.
Oh, I got you.
And if that's wrong, Jessica Mason, please correct me, but I'm guessing that's what it is.
Trump's base is Trump's base. But I do think there are a lot of Republicans behind the scenes that do not want Trump. But on the same token, they don't want to go against the party. And I think there's a lot of Republicans behind the scenes that are really hoping that Trump does not win. So I don't know if MSNBC or any other news outlet for that matter, or op-ed is what we should call them, is thinking that Trump has dementia. I do think they're thinking that his speeches are disjointed and that his thought process is disjointed and that he has some sociopathic traits. Mainstream media, as she says.
Mm-hmm.
I see the focus being shifted back to Trump and the crimes he's committed, and that taking front and center stage again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say I agree. And when I pull cards on will Trump be president, I just get a big hole.
A black.
So much I could say to that. I'm just not going to do it.
I want to highlight you.
That.
Yeah, just 10-foot pole on that one. Oh my God.
It's a dark hole, okay?
It's a very dark, it's a very dark place. I pulled some cards, and I see that what's happening here, from what I'm getting, is many layers, right? We have the average American voter who's either being, gaslit by outlets like Fox News or even the rest of mainstream media now. And they are confused because they're hearing lots of different things. They're not hearing enough about Biden, but they're certainly hearing a lot of things about DJT. And so to them, DJT is kind of, a well-known name. He was president before, and these guys are saying he's okay, and they're not hearing anything about Project 25. And then you have the politicians, kind of the level up, who have their own agendas for who they want. And I think a lot of them are playing both sides. I think they're influencing people on both sides, even people within the White House. They can't agree. But I think that political layer is really a mess, really messy. And then you have the international layer, shall we call it? That country starts with the letter R and maybe some other comrades that they have. They're really messing things up. They're doing as much as they can with social media and just outright taking ads out and just playing the ads. I mean, they're doing so much. That's why we have organizations like Lincoln Project and stuff out there trying to counteract that. So it's very, very messy. It's a very messy stew. But what I got here is that, Trump thinks he's the star still and the emperor. And of course, he's going to win. But he's headed for the 10 of Swords, which is something that we're all talking about. Something's coming. Something's changing. There's something that's really going to be a big demise of some kind. His career, his image, his money, his lawsuits, something is going to kind of cease to exist. And then we have the Ace of Wands. So this could be sort of the resurrection of the faith in our country, the faith of going forward with our current president as the new president. And then I get the High Priestess. And I always see in this deck, this High Priestess looks like Tanya Chutkin. That is her face peeking out from the High Priestess. So I'm going to say that what Cleo was saying earlier about Tanya Chutkin coming up with some very, very creative ways of looking at that decision that SCOTUS handed down and trying to work with it. I think that those things are all coalescing at about the same time frame. I guess maybe a couple of weeks out. Would you say, Cleo?
Well, I thought we were going to actually hear something from her today.
Oh,
So it's,
sooner.
you know, it didn't, I haven't seen anything yet, but I you know, very soon,
Yeah.
soon, whatever she comes up with, she's got to be very careful. She's got a whole bunch of people working on it because
Yeah.
it's to be just down pat. So
Yeah.
that, you know, she might take a little bit longer, but probably within the next week.
Yeah, and her discussions, decisions, her cases, her stuff that comes out in the news, that will address a lot of the middle section, the political quagmire, right? And maybe some regular folk voters who are starting to kind of prick their ears up and going, well, hey, is the Supreme Court doing something that affects Trump? I mean, they're starting to kind of come into this. They're not just nerds like we are that pay attention to everything in the news, but it's not going to do anything for the international factor. And the international factor is the wild card here because they did it before and they didn't do it as well the second time, but like the Trump machine, they have learned. So that's what I have to say about it.
Well, but the
I pulled
Supreme
some
Court
cards
didn't-
on 45, and the
I'm
first
sorry,
thing I got was the three
I'm
of
sorry,
hearts.
Shari, could you start over? I missed the whole first part of what you said.
I pulled cards just on Donald, and the
Okay.
first thing I got was a three of hearts. So he's
Disappointment.
the getting shot at. He didn't get shot. He was shot at. Has really rattled him far more than people realize. I think because suddenly it was one of his people shooting at him. It wasn't one of the communist Democrats that he's always talking about.
Mhm.
This was a hardcore MAGA kid. And then I've got the Page of Pentacles, but it's reversed. So we're looking at a lot of miscommunications, a lot of garbled communications, and that's his whole thing. He doesn't make sense anymore. When he speaks, it's all garbled and just mixed up. And I'm sure in his brain, he thinks he sounds fabulous, wonderful, fantastic. And everybody else is like, a bowl of alphabet soup makes more sense than this. And then the last thing I drew for him was strength reversed.
Oh.
And that's showing a lot of self-doubt, a lot of loss on his inner strength, a lot of insecurity in his inner self. He's feeling very insecure, and when he gets insecure, that's when he doubles down and he gets meaner.
Dangerous.
Dangerous mean. And that's what worries me, is that he's going to start feeling this more and more, and he's going to increase the dog whistles to the wackadoodles out there who are more than willing to take a bullet for him or to fall on their sword for him.
Mm-hmm.
That's what worries me, because
I think they already started that, Shari. I watched
it's going to get worse.
The convention with
it's going to
Hulk
get worse.
Hogan and all that rhetoric. Oh, Lord.
Yeah,
I'm going to change the subject, but somebody was bringing up the Lincoln Project, and I'm getting this psychic hit. I see the Lincoln Project gaining a lot more momentum. And I see George Conway coming out and really going ballistic against Trump. And I see a few handful of conservatives coming out, or more than a handful of conservatives coming out totally against Trump. So there's going to be a lot of negative press he'll get. Trump would try to squelch that, but it won't work. Shari, I want to touch on what you said. By him getting shot at and getting shrapnel in the ear, is, in my opinion, Trump created that. The vitriol and the hatred and the bigotry that he preached turned against him.
Yes, he sure did.
And that's what our spirit guides in the universe is trying to show us, how that vitriol can come back to bite us. In this case, it was in the ear. But you're right, Shari. I've noticed that when Trump gets scared and insecure, he ramps up the hate and the vitriol and all of that. So he's going to start those shenanigans again. But it's gonna make a lot of people really angry. And I think that's going to increase Biden's numbers as well, with
Mhm.
vitriol trouble be coming out.
Especially if they manage to pull something off
Correct.
halfway decently and hurt people.
That's right.
I'm sorry, Gerald, you were going to say something.
I was just going to be clear. Of course, Biden's numbers are going to go up because Biden is the next president of the United
Of
States.
the United States.
Yes.
Everyone
Right.
say it with me. It's written below. You have to go out
Biden is the next
president
president of the United States.
States.
Okay.
Go out and vote.
Yes. Vote, vote, vote.
Not voting is a vote for Trump.
Yes. True.
Oh yeah.
That's true. Okay.
We lost Val.
Oh, this is great. Yes, we did. She'll be back. As of an hour ago, most recent Google search shows me, try to say that 5 times fast, Biden campaign insists he is in the race still. AOC and Bernie siding with Biden, warning party of chaos risks. And that's pretty amazing considering how much chaos and riskiness they have done in their political careers.
There we go. I've got to run soon, but I just want to. I've got some other things I got to take care of, but I just want to end what I have to say with this, if I may.
Okay.
And I keep saying this, and you all heard me say it a million times. Everybody is fearful and angry right now, and I've said this a million times. But when I had cancer, I was paralyzed with fear. Nobody knew it, but I was. Thanks to the community that got me through it. But, the message came from my guides. Don't let the fear stand in front of you and hold you back. Let it get behind you and push you forward. And that's what I want to impart to everybody. Don't let the fear paralyze you. Don't get your emotions worked up. Think logically with your head, put the fear behind you, and know that if you all vote and speak up against all this stuff going on, that Trump will not win.
And Mel, the first time you said that, it hit me so deeply that it's now at the end of every email. That's my tag after my name is your quote.
Thank you.
And said by Mel Doerr. And because it really resonated with me when you said that.
It's pretty powerful, actually.
Yeah, it is.
Quite
Mel, say that again, will you?
to take towards.
Don't let the fear stand in
Yeah.
front of you and hold you back. Let it get behind you and push you forward.
Yeah, so that visual is just so powerful.
Yeah.
It got me through it. It came from my guides. So.
Yeah, I love that.
Very, very powerful. Well, thank you, Mel. Thank you so much for being with us
Do
tonight.
this again. I enjoy this. I really do.
I will invite you again. It's
You got
great
it.
to have you. All right.
And Mel, I'll talk to you this week for Monday.
Thank you.
Bye.
You got it, Shari. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. All right. The Mighty Five. We will carry on. Okay. What do we have here? We did that one. And oh my God, there's still so many comments and stuff.
There are so many, and I'm sorry, I've just been capturing them, so I can undo a few of them.
Okay, go ahead. I'll move down the list a little bit, see if I can find something. He's all okay. Biden said he's all in. He's not stepping down. We can hide that and let that one go. Here we go. Here's another one I want to show. Call your representative and tell them that you are riding with Biden 2024. Love that. Thank you. I'll leave that up until I find the next one.
And you can also donate. JoeBiden.com.
Yes.
Go there.
$5.
Yeah.
$5. If everybody gave $5 who support him, he would have more money than he knew what to do with.
Yes.
Oh, here's an interesting one. Does anybody know the answer to this? Is there anyone on the other side, whether politically or in another country, taking notes on who are the weak links in the Dem chain? In other words, is there anyone on the other side who is rooting for the Republicans? Adolf? I don't know. I had to say it. I had to say it. I mean, it's the obvious, right?
Well, somebody had
Mostly-
mentioned earlier that other Democrats are, and people are noticing the Democrats who are actually asking for the step down. And AOC is doing a whole bunch of stuff with that. But, it's not going to work because, Biden is the next president, period.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I yesterday just made a quick list of out of all, and these are all from the House of Representatives. So how many are in the House of Representatives? Like 260 something, or is there more than that?
We have, I think we have 213 and they have 214. They're only one person ahead of us as those holding.
So less than 450. Okay, less than 450. So let's say 430 people in the House of Representatives, give or take a few. And of those 400 and I'll say 20 some people, 22 have stated publicly that they would like Biden to step down. 22 out of that huge number. So it's not like there's this big overwhelming, oh, he's just got to step down. Nobody is saying that. I mean, these 22 morons are, but that's it. So I'm not even going to read out their names. I just wanted to put the math. I just wanted to put the math out there.
It's just that the right wing news casters and news stations put it all out there.
Yes, they do.
Amplify
yes, they do.
by a million.
Yeah,
and it's
over and over and over again.
Over and over. And it's just a few voices. So,
well, let's switch gears for a little bit. Let's look at something about the Jack Smith thing. Will Jack Smith's appeal, is it going to go our way, and will Cannon be removed, and what's going to happen? Well, okay, the Supreme Court, that's a separate question. First, let's just look at Jack Smith's appeal and what's going to happen with that. We'll just do a couple more. Is everybody okay for doing a couple more questions?
Yeah, I think that Jack Smith's appeal is going to be successful, and that it puts into question of why Cannon made that dismissal in the first place. I think they're going to find that he is the legitimate person to prosecute the case. And she's saying that he's not. And so they've thrown it out. Nothing, by the way, nothing in all of these trials that has been up for appeal or been thrown in or out has anything to do with the guilt or innocence of Donald Trump. He's guilty on all of them. So they're going for a technicality, and they're trying to say that, and I guess she can say that because it's come up before, and every time it's come up before, whoever did it lost by trying to say that there's got to be a different kind of person handling the prosecution of this case. I see Jack Smith being successful in that, but the timing on when it all happens is.
What do you have, Val?
They're just going right to the jail cell. I'm just putting this up there because it backs up what Cleo's saying. They aren't even stopping to say, oh, it's going to be successful. They went right to the jail cell. Yeah. Hail. Yeah.
Hail yeah.
Hail.
Well, I pulled the Queen of Wands reversed. So we're talking about Jack has a lot of self-confidence. He's very sure of what he's doing. I mean, the man was practically running that division of the Hague, He knows what he's about. And then I pulled the Three of Cups. I think that's going to be a lot of us doing a lot of celebrating because we're going to be damn glad that he's the one that's got this bull by the horns. Yep. And then I ended up with the Four of Cups reversed. So I think that's just showing a lot of awareness. People are going to kind of wake up and go, oh, wait a minute. What?
Nice.
He was selling national secrets
yeah,
to enemies, and they just dismissed the case. I'm telling you, people are starting to come to having their little come to Jesus moment on that. They're getting very very uptight about it. And I'm talking about a couple of friends I have that are Republicans who were like, wait, didn't you say it was, they were asking me, wasn't I the one telling them that he was selling national secrets to our enemies? And I said, yeah, that's what he was doing. They have the proof. But the judge was she was promised to get on the Supreme Court if she got rid of the case. So she got rid of the case. And they were like, oh, that's not right. And I said, yeah. Yeah,
No shit, it's not right.
I agree. So,
Well, it does go against some amendment. I mean, I don't know that hardly anything about the law, but what she is talking about, she can vaguely bring it up. For her to actually dismiss the case went way, way, way too far, but she was giving Jack Smith nothing but a hard time. So I think he's pretty happy that she's done this, because he can see his way around it, and he will, I think he'll be successful. But, you might hear something about, well, she said, that they'd take another step back or something, because the whole thing is to delay any case that could come up. Now, when Trump does not win and Biden does win and is reelected, oh my God, there's going to be
Dancing in the streets.
well, there's going to be dancing in the streets on one side, but on the other side, there's going to be a bunch of people saying, "Oh no, you can't do any Trump should have been." They're going to fight this election just the way they did in 2020. And
They can't, because the president has immunity and he can just stay in office.
well, yeah, you can. Biden won't take advantage of that ridiculous new rule, but yeah, it is going to be craziness when this comes down to it, and they'll be forcing them to recount, redo this and that, and and Biden, or excuse me, Trump has already said that the election is rigged, and I think it is. I think he rigged it, and that concerns me. But I also think there's a lot of other people that are way ahead of me on this, that work in that area, that are going to be watching the polls, watching this whole thing very, very closely, so that there can be no hanky-panky in the election area.
Mm-hmm.
Can I? I'm going to put this up. Yes, Jack had this whole thing planned. He was ready for her and her shenanigans.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And
I think he drew it right into it.
Maybe. I just want to show everybody, when Joe Biden becomes the next president, this is what the country will feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
Mainly the people who voted for him and are relieved. And this is what the MAGAs are going to feel like.
Oh God!
That's a flop.
And this is what they're going to want to do to all of us.
Oh, that's just those are perfect cards.
We're still going to be in a civil war, even after the election.
Oh yeah,
we're still going to be in this mess. So, although I will be very happy when Joe Biden is confirmed as the next president of the United States, the period from November 6th to the next January 20th is going to be tense.
Yes, absolutely.
Very tense.
I like what Jessica Mason said. She said it's funny watching people who refuse to wear a mask wear a maxi pad on their ear.
Yeah. Yeah. Jeez. Okay. So let's look at this. What do your cards say about JD Vance? I think I just pulled this card again.
There you go.
This is not for children, right?
Nope, not for kids.
I'm afraid what might slip out of my mouth when I talk about Vance.
Well, again, the Democrats are really happy that Trump picked JD.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he's just
MAGA is
nobody.
MAGA is not happy that he's married to a brown woman who's a Hindu.
Yep. Not happy. Gee, that's similar, but a little bit different from our Vice President, Kamala Harris. Isn't that funny?
Mm.
Huh.
I don't think the MAGAs are laughing. Go ahead, Val.
I'm sorry. I just asked, will JD Vance be a plus, a positive for the Trump campaign? And it's gonna stick a knife in it. I'm sorry. It's like, yeah. It's just like that big balloon in the Macy's Day Parade of Trump's face. Wah, wah. And all the air comes out
Yeah.
of the whole thing.
Trying to see if my cards are gonna. Yeah.
Ten
Here's
of
the
Wands.
thing. Go ahead. Go ahead, Shari. Are
No,
you
that's
pulling
why it just popped out. I just
10 of Wands? Yeah, fun.
burden. Yeah, he's
So here's the thing. I mean, they have an agreement for now, but JD Vance is actually he's a pawn in this. Peter Thiel has been managing JD Vance his whole career, ever since he got out of law school. And what is it, Harvard Law School that he went to, or Yale, or I mean a big one, right? One of those two. Like big. He had to be smart to get in there. He personally got Peter Thiel his first two real big career positions right out of law school. And he pretty much failed at both of them and got fired from both of them, but that didn't matter. Then he got a job without Peter Thiel. That didn't also work out. And then Peter Thiel stepped in and gave him another job. And then it led to this thing with politics. He basically bought the position that he holds now, the senatorship that he holds now.
Yes.
Peter Thiel basically bought it for him. And so I think that Peter Thiel is the puppet master here. And I think JD Vance is just very happy to have this guy pull the strings. Now, he does love his wife. He's there, he really loves his wife. He'd like to stay with his wife, but he's also trapped by Peter Thiel. He's also entrapped by him. And so I wouldn't be at all surprised, because I get the Princess of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles. I wouldn't be at all surprised if there was a plan to not only kind of dump Trump. I mean, what if something bad happened to BJT and oops, he's got a vice president pick now, so I guess we can just put him into the top spot, and then Peter Thiel's running the country.
I could see that.
Easy peasy. It would be so easy to do. And if he's going to do that, though, I think Mr. Vance has to get a new bride. I don't think his bride will fit in the White House. Because his bride does not fit the Stepford wife mold.
It doesn't matter. He'll never get near the White House.
Yeah, they're still weirded out over the last woman of color who lived in the White House.
Oh my God.
For 8 years.
I wanted to say something real quick. Somebody named Susan Rizza says, anyone here of the Seneca Project, feminist anti-Trump group? And I did a show about the Seneca Project.
Yes.
And everybody, all women should definitely pay attention to that, because this is a group of women, of Republican women, Democratic women that are for Biden. And, their thing is they're trying to get everybody collectively, regardless of what party you're involved in,
right?
Because that is what is also going to make the difference on the election, is that the women are coming forward, and they want Biden because Biden wants to maintain rights for everybody, but also mainly for women. And it's the abortion and all that kind of stuff. But it's also just women in general. So yeah, I'm glad somebody brought that up. You should look it up. Seneca Project. It's a newer group of women that are working on this, and I really like what they're doing.
Yeah.
And here's a card: the Knight in Shining Armor. That is the card for that group. So yeah,
very much so.
Yeah,
and Biden keeps saying that he wants to finish the job. Like, he wants to finish the job. We still don't have equal pay for equal work. We still don't have daycare that's subsidized by the government truly, so that single mothers can get a decent job. We still don't have single fathers. That's right. But single mothers are doing it hard. At least a single father can get a really decent job. The Voting Rights Act isn't done. We got to get back the abortion rights. We got to boost up the ACA so that it's not costing people so much money per month. Or here's an idea, just have the government pay for it. Just roll it all into Medicare like Bernie wanted to do and be done with it. It's so much easier. You'd save millions of dollars. And I could go on and on. The immigration thing, he has to finish that job. And the project, the administration will affect women in so many ways. So many of these things he wants to finish affect females. It's just so important that Biden is our next president and that we all vote blue all the way down the ticket.
Yep.
Yeah, because we've been treated like second-class citizens for eons.
Yeah.
And once we were no longer treated that way, do you think we're going to go back quietly and be second-hand citizens again?
I don't know. In my job,
more than property to be owned and brood mares to breed. I don't think so.
Well, in my current job, I am treated like a second-class citizen because I'm female. That is still going on. Just in my first marriage, when I got divorced, I could not change the name on my insurance card for a car that I bought and paid for, that I drove, because my husband had to consent to it. I refused. I dropped the insurance company and got a new one so that I could put it in my name.
Yep.
It was utterly ridiculous.
There was a time when we couldn't have credit cards.
I was just going to mention that.
Couldn't have a bank account?
When I was first in college, the first thing I did as soon as we could have credit cards was I went to a clothing store that I liked and I signed up for a credit card. Yep. I didn't tell my dad, though, because I knew that he would think he probably wouldn't have made me give it up, but he would just be like, why? Why do you need that? Mm-hmm. And when I went to go move out, my mother said, how are you going to pay for an apartment? And I said, I opened a bank account. Oh my God. Yeah. I'm going to write a check for rent. And she's like, how did you know how to do that? I'm like, I could teach you if you want to. I think she knew how, but she was just
that's very
that
true.
I would do it.
Yeah.
Women that came from our mothers and grandmothers' generations, they did not know how to write a check or how to get insurance or how to do any of that stuff because they were not allowed to do it.
No.
And the few who tried were just flat out told no.
Yeah.
Or else they would have to go get a brother or father or an uncle or somebody to come march inside with them and sign on the dotted line next to their name,
Right. And just to bring it back to the question that's on the screen, what does this have to do with JD Vance? This is the America he wants to go back to. Yeah. Where women are not allowed to have credit cards, not allowed to have an abortion, not allowed to make decisions about their body, not allowed to make the same money as a man doing the same job, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, he's the one who personally doesn't believe women should vote.
Yeah.
He personally doesn't believe we should have the vote. That should be enough right there.
And isn't his wife also an attorney?
I'm not sure.
I think so, yes.
Yeah. How does she sleep next to him? I mean, I'm sorry.
And not do major damage to his bodily parts.
Does he allow her to sleep with a weapon? Because I think if I were her, I would.
Oh my God. He did get his JD at Yale, by the way.
And Laura M said they met at Yale.
Yeah. So
they met at Yale.
How does she? Anyway. Okay. Does anybody else have anything else to say about Mr. Vance?
No, artist Liz brought it up. He also said that women should have to stay in abusive relationships.
Yeah,
for the sake of their children. You know, it's like, so you're going to teach your children that it's okay that your spouse beats the hell out of you just because they want to. That's real healthy.
This fell out for him.
That suits him perfectly, Val.
Horrible. Okay.
And
I was reading your mind, Val. Reading your mind.
Let's read on this. I mean, we all don't like Vance almost as much as we don't like Trump, but do we think that Vance was forced on Trump?
Yes.
I do too. And I think it was the money because Elon Musk said if he got Vance as his VP, he would pay something like 45 million every single month.
Yes.
For
40 million. 40 million a month.
40 million every month toward his campaign. So Trump looked at that and said, hell yeah. Okay.
Oh,
He's my VP.
but what Elon does not realize is that once if he were to be elected,
Yeah.
Trump would demand not only that he continue to pay that up until like January, February of 2025, but then he would line up all of the people who have all the money in the United States and say, your money is now mine, or I'm killing your families.
Correct.
That's the kind of thing that he's going to do.
Absolutely. Because he's Hannibal Lecter.
Well, and somebody posted earlier that Anthony Hopkins was offended that Trump had used that he cited Hannibal Lecter. Gross.
Yeah.
He admires Hannibal Lecter. He admires the Hungarian dictator. He admires
Viktor Orban.
He admires.
So
Mohammed bin Salman. Yeah.
I do think Artist Liz, I do feel that Vance was forced, that Trump was forced, or he picked Vance because of other reasons. All of my cards are in reverse. I got the Empress.
Mine too.
I got the King of Wands, and then I got the Lovers reversed. So it's all the dark side. It's all
money
the darkness.
talks. Money is Trump's sweet spot.
Yep.
It's his love language.
Currency.
It's his G spot.
Thank you.
But what is it about Peter Thiel and JD Vance? How does Peter Thiel, I mean, yeah, he's given him jobs and all of this stuff, but at some point, doesn't a grown man say, okay, I can take it from here. This is my life?
He's got something on him.
Yeah. Let's read on that. What the hell is going on?
To finish out this one, I pulled, like Gerald, I pulled all reverse cards. That's so rare that happens.
Yeah.
First, it was the 9 of Wands that I pulled reversed. Then it was the Wheel of Fortune reversed, followed by Temperance reversed.
Oh, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, I mean,
that's not good for us.
No,
not good for anybody. I just
wow. Okay, so now let's read on. Whoops. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to hide the other one. Okay. So what we want to know is, why is JD Vance going along with all of this? Is that he wants the power that much, or he thinks he can keep his wife somehow? I mean, what is
He's only been a senator for 18 months?
Yes.
Well, that's why when somebody says, out of the blue, hey, you want to be VP? He's like, well, what the hell? Yeah, of course. I mean,
that's what it is. Cleo's right.
Fell in his lap, and he's like, well, okay, yeah, let's do this. But he said, I did say a bunch of things about Trump in the beginning. What are we going to say about that? Oh, just say that after he became president, you changed your mind. So, I mean,
that's what it is. He's really he was groomed, but not told necessarily by this guy who's been helping him along. And here he is camouflaged. He doesn't even know he's camouflaged to do some other work, to do a certain thing. And the Inferno, the fire, is this guy who is his handler. He doesn't even know he's being handled. He thinks that some friend is just helping him. But what is really happening is he's been groomed up the ladder to get to this spot. And so now he's like Cleo said, oh, okay. He has no idea this has been orchestrated for him.
It's just like the reason he grew a beard. Look at him. He's got this big round baby face, and and he is really young. So yeah, he grew a beard just so he could, and it worked. He got a little more respect. He seemed a little more respectful because he was more of a macho kind of guy. But yeah, he is just he can't believe his luck.
He thinks he's in Unicorn City. He doesn't know what's coming and going. He just says, yeah.
What do you want me to say? I'll say it.
Yeah.
In 2013, he was still in law school. He graduated from law school in 2013.
God.
So
Oh
for
my
the last 11 years, Peter Thiel has been directing every moment of his life, including
Mhm.
this one. So
He's
I
been
don't know.
groomed.
Does he smoke crack or something? I mean, I'm just asking the
Whatever it is,
question.
Thiel's got something on Vance. There's
Yeah,
some.
why
He's
would you
got
do
something
that?
on him. But the first thing I got was the fool, because that's Vance. He's a fool. He got put into this position of being, what is it, a senator, and discovered you have to actually work to do that job. And then somebody comes along and says, hey, you want to be VP? They don't do anything. They just hang out in case the head guy falls dead, you know. Sure,
I
it
mean,
sounds like a great job to me.
look at the
Then I
four
pull the
choices.
devil, because he's being chased by the devil. He's being led by the devil.
He
And
is
he's
the
just
devil.
full of evil in his heart. And the last card I got was the moon.
He really thinks
Everything's in shadow.
he might become president one day.
Yes. Yes. This is how Peter Thiel got him hooked on this. Let me just read this one thing to you. So he's first of all, he's the first Marine veteran. So on paper, he looks like an excellent, candidate. Plus, while he was 3 years out of law school, he wrote a memoir. A memoir. The guy probably wasn't even 30.
And
He wrote a memoir called Hillbilly Elegy.
Yeah.
All right.
And they
Yeah.
made a movie out of it.
Yes, yes, yes. And
So he's perfect for Trump because he's got the show business angle. Marine veteran, that makes everybody all soft and warm and fuzzy because they think he's a good guy. Now, listen to this. Vance has been called a neo-reactionary, national conservative, and a right-wing populist. He has cited Curtis Yarvin, Rod Dreher, and Patrick Deneen as influences on his ideological views and describes himself as a member of the post-liberal right. What the fuck is that? On social issues, he has promoted strongly conservative policies opposing abortion and same-sex marriage and favoring a ban on transgender healthcare for minors. Vance opposes free market capitalism and differs from mainstream Republican views on taxes, the minimum wage, unionization, tariffs, and antitrust policy, while opposing American military aid to Ukraine.
So it sounds like he's anti-human.
Yeah,
basically.
but
Yeah.
he's not in line with mainstream Republican views at all. I don't know if this would describe, the majority of MAGAs. Maybe it does. I don't know. I haven't done an exhaustive study of the philosophies and platforms of
I prefer
MAGA.
not to talk to them. They give me a headache.
Yeah, the paragraph reading just gave me a headache. My God. So this guy really thinks he's going to be president. Does Vance really think he's going to be president?
He really, he
Well, at
really
least he doesn't think he's the second coming of Jesus.
But you know what just fell out? I said he does. He really does. And the knife fell out again.
Yeah, I don't think Trump should trust him, but I don't care because if somebody can, but maybe Vance would be worse than Trump. He sounds like
worse because he might have some brain.
He
The brain's
does.
not going in
That's
the right
what
direction.
scares me.
He does have brains. He was at Yale, and maybe this guy is just
do his homework like Trump. So he might
be worse. Yeah, he's a baby narcissist. I get it. And Peter Thiel is just the puppet master manipulating him and just hoping that he can manipulate him for long enough before Vance finally says, cut the strings. I'm off on my own when he goes full bore MAGA or whatever he's going to do. But
much the same way, he's going to spin everything like he did in his book, Hillbilly Elegy.
Yeah.
Because, there's so much. Yeah, it was. Yeah. But Vance is looking at this as I don't think he realizes that he's being manipulated. And like you, Val, he's being controlled. He doesn't realize that he's a small cog in this huge wheel, but this is a way for him to get out. It's a way for him to let all of this past go. He's trying to get rid of his history, his hillbilly elegy. He's trying to get it out of it. And it's just like, no.
But not only that, but if he were to become the prez in his mind, then he could also get rid of Peter Thiel and do what he really wants to do. Go back and remarry his wife. You know, I think something bad's going to happen with that wife. I
think that by January, you won't even be able to remember who Trump wants his vice president to be.
Oh, God, I hope you're right.
That would be.
I hope so.
I hope you're right. Please let that be right.
Please, dear God, let Cleo's
Well, because
request the most benevolent outcome.
yeah, I mean, and Biden is the next president of the United States.
That's right.
right.
That's right. We have to
President
remind
of the
ourselves.
United States, I request the most benevolent outcome.
Yeah.
Remember,
Thank you,
the
thank you,
vice
thank
president to Biden, Kamala Harris, is just so far ahead of somebody like Vance.
She is badass, man. Let me
And
tell
she,
you.
if something happens with Biden, Kamala it's gonna be seamless. She can just take over from day one. And so that's one thing, when they were talking about that they want him to step down and then they put her in. I still see it. I don't think that's going to happen, but if it did happen for some weird reason because of Biden's health or something, I do see that it could be Harris president and Biden vice president. Now, if they did a switch thing like that, that would be ideal. That could happen at the last minute, and then everybody would be like, "Well, okay, we're going for that." You've got the best of both worlds, but I don't know. That would just be historical. That would be very unusual for something like that to happen. But I still.
But you know what? I'm glad you're putting it out there. It's crazy, but look at all the other crazy shit that we've had happen in 2024. It's just been.
I'm never going to say it can't happen anymore. That's for
Me
sure.
neither. Me neither. Well, folks, I think this was an excellent question to kind of wrap up the show with, because I mean, anything else is just gonna. I'm sorry, but my brain's just gonna go. I don't think I can handle anymore.
Yeah, I need a cigarette at this point. It's
Yeah,
like,
right?
okay.
Oh my God. Yeah. I need something.
The
So
cigarette
anyway,
and the Valium, and I'll be all right.
yeah. So
Maybe
thank
a drink to go with it.
thank you everybody in the chat. We had at one point, I think, 865 people.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was almost 900.
Oh my God. Just viewing.
I was watching.
And that is really down to Mel, I think. I mean,
That's
yes,
a
all of our
floppable
channels,
number.
all of our little minnow channels, we had our 15 people watching us, but then Mel came on and it just kind of went. So thank you everybody for hanging in. Thank you all of Mel's subscribers who hung in with us all this time.
Absolutely.
Y'all are amazing and wonderful, and I do hope you'll subscribe to my channel, because that would be
And
just
be
awesome.
sure you visit everybody else's
Yes,
channel. and
visit
like and
everybody
subscribe.
else's channel as well. I really, really want you to do that. And I think in this, I still have everybody's link in my description. So if you're looking to find us, you know where to find us. It's right there in the description box. So thank you, Cleo. Thank you for being here. Val, thank you so much. Shari, amazing. And your sound was just primo tonight. And
Great.
Gerald, thank you so much for helping me with the chat and everything, because I'm learning from you. I think I might be getting just a hair's breadth better. Just a hair's breadth. I'm still pretty crappy at it, but
I do it for Arthur all the time too. So yeah.
Aid for effort. Yes. And Shari has helped me a lot with this show and with Reveal the Future too. So thank you so much, everybody. We're going to be doing this show again the first week of August. And so you'll find us on the first Friday night in August. And we hope that you'll all come back. The second Friday? Sorry, the second Friday night in August. And I hope you'll all come back and
Friday
visit.
of August is the 2nd of August.
Oh, the 2nd of August.
The date is August 2nd. And
okay, so let me start over.
Friday
so PoliTarology is the first and third Friday of every month. I thought I had that right.
Yes.
And so we'll be back here the first week of August on August 2nd so that you can view us, and I hope you'll all come back. Oh my God, I said way too much. Okay, I'm just going to end things. I'm going to say a big thank you and thank you all.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Oh my God.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What am I doing?